Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy, and this is my corner of the internet, all about my cross stitch. Today is August 24th. It is a Sunday. I'm back to my regular Sunday schedule. Kind of being forced to be. I was enjoying my Monday filmings during the summer, but tomorrow I go back for teacher workshop day for the first day. We have 3 days of teacher workshop, open house on Tuesday. We get the Labor Day weekend, and then school starts on September 2nd. So, let's see what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. Excuse me. I have my notes. I am about to transition it from my notebook to start doing it. I'm filming in my living room on my couch, which is my stitchy spot. And we have a little tablet that we use in here as kind of a media center. And we have it connected to the TV. So my goal is before I film the next time to get my Flosstube notes up on my TV, and then I'm just looking behind the camera instead of down in my notes all the time. So hopefully we'll do that. And yes, I have my creepy eyes because of the ring light reflection. But that's okay. It makes me feel very Halloween-y. My cat eyes. I'm glowing. My eyes look like they're cat eyes glowing in the dark. And I kind of like it. All right, so teacher workshop tomorrow. Earlier this week, we had a bat in the stairwell of our apartment. Then it got out in the main thing. They called somebody to get it out. The first time they came, it hid and they couldn't find it. Some of the people were freaking out. And I was like, oh, it's a bat. How cool. And I know we can't let it stay in the building. One, it won't have food. Two, they can carry rabies. And but it is illegal to kill bats in the state of Minnesota because so many of them are on the endangered list. So they had to get somebody to come and catch it and take it outside humanely. And I haven't heard anybody freaking out about a bat. So I'm assuming that's been done. I did get to see a picture of him hanging out by one of the exit signs when he escaped the stairwell and was flying around or hanging out around in the main lobby. So that was kind of cool. I thought it was fun. Caprice has received her prize of the Animal Puns book, which I'm glad. I'm always worried about stuff getting lost in the post. And I got to meet her on the Stitchy Connection Zoom call yesterday. So I actually got to put a face with a name. Hi, Caprice. Let's see. What else? Oh, I reached 1,000 followers on Instagram. Thanks, everybody. That was really cool. I don't have another giveaway to do right now, unfortunately. I can't always do tons of giveaways. I wish I could, but not in the budget. I am still doing a fundraiser for NAMIWalks in Minnesota. That is on September 27th. If you can't afford to donate, you can do as little as $5, $1. Then just share my page and ask other people to donate. It's a really great cause. I do it for them every year. I actually just called them to try to find some help for some stuff. And all of their help is free, and they will direct you to other people to help if they cannot. I am also starting my class for my licensure. So I'm doing a portfolio method, and the science conference, the Science Teachers Association offers classes for free. They have a grant for free through spring 2026. So I'm taking a college course for free, basically. I won't get credit for like, if I want to get credit for like graduation credits, like to get another graduate degree or another bachelor's degree, I'd have to pay at a much reduced rate. But I'm just doing the free route. I got an email at the beginning of July, and I didn't go look because they said, oh, you don't qualify for aid. So I didn't go back and look at my St. Cloud email. They said, oh, no, wait, you do qualify for aid. We had you in the system wrong. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I think it was the day after final registration because classes start tomorrow. But I got registered on the last day for this class for what's called the E-Steps program. And they only have grant money till spring of 2026. So I'll be taking some more classes in the spring, hopefully. There was only one class that wasn't full. and I'm kind of okay with that, workload-wise. So I also start that tomorrow, although I did print out the syllabus today, and I can actually start the coursework today if I would like. So I have 2 goals for that. I'm going to work on my micro-credential to help me get a pay raise after this. And then I'm going to look over and see if there's any assignments that I could do real quick, at least get one under my belt before I start tomorrow, because open house is Tuesday. And then I am doing a little bit of a de-stash. I'm keeping a few things to do giveaways when I hit milestones on the channel. Because I can't always, like, I love the idea of the gift cards, but I don't always have the finances to do gift cards. So I am doing some listings on eBay. I am going to link my eBay page down below. Most of it's cross-stitch. There's a few books. One of them's like a signed Kathy Reich's book. I have a few other things. I am going to be adding more. The only reason I mention is that this is where I'm de-stashing, and my intention with whatever I make from these eBay listings is we've gotten a lot of medical bills over the summer, and I am looking for some income to help pay for those bills, because there's still more to come, and I'm not comfortable asking people to just give me money, help me out. We only did that once, and that was when our dog was hit by a car, and we had a few friends donate, and we used that because they wouldn't treat him at the emergency room unless we paid the bill up front. And then I had to miss several days of work. It was a mess. So I'm not asking for you to give me money for nothing. If you find anything on my eBay that interests you, please, if you want to purchase, and that'll be your way, you can get something. And I didn't price things crazy expensive or anything. Cat! Twimmer! I'm sorry, he just jumped up on the kitchen counter by the sink. He's probably looking for water, standing water. Just a minute, I'm going to pause and go take care of the cat. And of course, when I get up, I bumped the camera, so it might not be in the exact same spot. So, yes, he is being naughty. He likes to drink out of our cups more than he likes to drink out of his water fountain, and sometimes now, when he doesn't want to drink out of his water fountain and we don't have water, he likes to go find things that are filled with water in the sink or find water in the kitchen sink. So now he's in my lap and I am petting him to try to keep him from being naughty. Alright, so if you, please check out my eBay page, and if you find anything you like, put in a bid or purchase. I will be adding some more stuff. If you can't, that's okay too. So, not a worry if you can't. Alright, so couple of things I have a finish, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already saw this. This is a piece that I did for the Orange Fabric Halloween sale hosted by Adelaide Stitches. Sorry, I'm trying to pet the cat to keep him off of my stack of stuff. Is his tail going to come in the screen? Oh, there it is a little bit. So this is Raven Moon by Elizabeth Spurlock of, what is it? Their name, Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. Oh, that color is not... The orange is a little bit brighter. I don't know why my phone camera was when I took pictures, it was better. But this is out of the Just Crossstitch Halloween Halloween magazine from this year. Cat butt. I started this on, August 3rd and finished it on August 18th. I could not put this down. It is such an easy stitch. I did it 1/2 on 36 Count Pumpkin King by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. And I meant to cut the fabric before I started, and then I was like, nah. And then I haven't cut it now either. And I might do Midnight Ride on another part of this fabric. I was always a little concerned. Now he's drinking out of his water fountain. He's such a weirdo. I wasn't sure how the black would show up, and I was a little concerned about this. And I know that if you look closely, some of the coverage is not as perfect. But if I did 2 strands, it would have been way too thick. And with this DMC, this is all the same skein of DMC, but like different parts of the black were different thicknesses. But I think when you pull it back, it just adds some dimension and some, like, even though it's all solid color, it gives it some shading kind of. So I'm okay with that. And I think the moon, I was a little worried about the moon, but I think it kind of feels like it's almost glowing on this dark fabric, and the little bit of the fabric that peeks through just adds like shadow and dimension to it. So I think it turned out great. I've got to find something else. I bought this like when I went to Stitchville's final, like my last time at Stitchville. They had 2 Pumpkin Kings by 2 different designers. This one was the more subtle. The other one was kind of like had neon orange, and that's the first Pumpkin King I saw. And then I was like, I'm not really a neon kind of gal. And then I saw this one, which is a little bit oranger, more reddishy orange than it's showing, a richer orange. It's kind of washing it out a little bit. But, and then I put that other one back and I grabbed this one because I thought this one was much more me. So yeah, I think I might do Midnight Ride over on this side. But, oh, I love that so much. So that was my one finish. This is my 16th finish of the year. And I've done 48 starts. I still need to do my temperature bookcase, my Goth Temp Stitch Along Legend was a planned start. And I wanted to do, what was my other planned start that's still on my list? Oh, here, let me look, because I can't remember. Because, I mean, I've updated. And then my Nightmare Before Christmas embroidery. And I've got the fabric and the pattern for Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I don't know if I'm going to get to that one. I wanted to do my Kaiju Calvin, but I was missing pages of the one I charted for myself on PC Stitch. And we just got Whim Stitch, so I think I'm going to try to rechart that and make a better chart and do Kaiju Calvin. But I might not get to it this year after all, with going back to school and teaching and everything else. I did mess around with my Whim Stitch, and there's going to be a learning curve. I didn't think I would necessarily need to watch the videos, but there's some tricks to importing pictures into that, which I think is going to take some learning. And I don't always know what size I want my pattern to be before I start. I kind of like have an idea, and I'm not sure what I will need. So I've got to learn, you know, how to add space and take out space and all that stuff. So, oh, excuse me, itchy back. At least it's not Flosstube itchy nose. So yeah, 16 finishes so far this year, 48 starts, and 2 more to go. I will probably do my Nightmare Before Christmas embroidery in October, probably over MEA weekend, which is a weekend for teacher conference for the state. Just because I can't think of another time that I will have time to do it. So, all right, now I have 2 new starts for you. That's how I got to 48. But before I show this, if you aren't on my Instagram, I made another project bag. The vinyl was giving me such a fit to get it in here. So my youngest nephew, I made him a stitch stocking for his Christmas stocking. And I was looking for backing fabric, and I was looking for something, and I found this on eBay. And I still have enough probably to make another project bag. So I thought I was going to start a Christmas project, and I was like, I should do this. And I also have everything cut, well, not everything, because I have to recut the vinyl. I had another piece of vinyl in here, and I tried stitching it into this zipper pouch here, and it would not work. It was frustrating the heck out of me, and I had to pick it twice, the threads out after, because it was, parts of it were not attached, and so then I ended up tearing enough of it that I had to throw it away. So I cut the vinyl for both bags, so I just grabbed the other piece. So now I have to go cut another piece. I have a space bag I'm working on, which will be so pretty. So the vinyl, I took the pattern out because I wanted to show you the inside. The vinyl isn't sparkly, but I had found this fat quarter of like this very 1980s splatter paint sparkly stuff, and I was looking for the lining for this, and I was like, it's sparkly, kind of like Christmas, and it's crazy enough to go with Stitch. So that is what I put inside. And this is my new project bag. And it is my only Christmas project bag because I used to I have a huge collection of like Christmas stocking patterns and everything like that. In fact, some of what I put on eBay are those, because most of the people, I'm 50 now, like the people I know for the most part aren't having kids anymore, and so I won't be needing those to make a gift. And if somebody I really cares about has a kid, I'll just go find a cool pattern. But I had a whole stash pile of stockings for that purpose. Excuse me. But I had a new start that I wanted to do. This was not on my original new start list. This only came about when I won my fabric from Flair. So I thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and make a Christmas bag. Let's see. I'm going to do... Ooh, that trick does work. Thank you, Audrey Stitchy Witch 42, for letting me know that if I tilt it forward, I don't get the glare. So this is a Christmas Crossstitch Season of Joy. It's one of those book collections. I inherited this from my grandma. And I am starting this. This is called Reindeer Roundup. It is Joan Elliott, believe it or not. And it is my first Joan Elliott. So this is what I started, and this is what I made that bag to put in because it seemed fitting that I should have it. I love the reindeer and the Santa's coat. I think he's so cool. So this is my rather meager start. So this I started on the 13th. This is just 14 count navy printed fabric from Flair. It's with white with snow. The dots are supposed to be snow. And the snow in the design on the cover piece was a lot of beads. So, and I'm still going to do the beads. I think it'll just add another dimension. But yeah, this is the piece that I won. I did cut it down a little bit, so I have a little bit... Oh no, wait, I think this is the whole piece. And I just serged the edges. I didn't cut it down because it's going to fill up most of it. But it's the right size. So I thought, and this, I did a center start because it's a... And then this is one of the reindeer. So I got a pretty decent start on it. And I was a little concerned when I'm really up close, I can kind of see the dots, like when I'm stitching. But I think if you don't know where the dots are, once it's all filled in, you won't know that there's a printed dot behind it. But that's this. Let's see, what else? Yeah. Oh, and I put the... I put notes in the wrong spot, so I'll have to look at it. And now the cat is in the box where I keep all my projects and our board games. But that's Reindeer Roundup by Joan Elliott. I have to pause again because he's being naughty. It's like he knows I'm about to go back to work and is annoyed and is acting out. Because he's usually pretty good when I'm filming. All right, next new start for you is I got everything in for the Stitching Connects in 2025, which is a round robin hosted by Jason Xstitches. I was very excited because I don't have stitchy friends that I'm close enough with to have decided to do a round robin yet. So this was a great way to do it, and I'm hoping to make some stitchy friends through it. I am paired with 3 ladies, Cindy, Petia, and Megan. They're all here in the U.S. We ended up going with each of us doing our own design. I just realized I should have pulled out my pattern for this, but oh well. So, everybody was like, oh, I'll do whatever, and we couldn't make a decision that we could all agree on without being overly nice and not coming to a decision. So we ended up each picking our own pattern. So I picked Ink Circle's Elemental Dragons Water, and I have been thinking about doing these for a while. And as I said, I have the paper pattern. I should have grabbed it, but I did not. Excuse me. I started this on the 15th, which was our agreed date to start it on. Now this is meant to be a monochromatic piece, all black. I didn't want to do that. I also am not doing silks. If anybody wants to gift me a bunch of silk so I can try them, fine, but the cost of silk is just insane to me. And if you can afford it, good on you. This, I picked 32 count stream by Fiber on a Whim. And I am doing the seaweed in Classic Colorworks Spinach. So let me fold this so I can hold it a little bit better. And I know, yes, I have a needle in my project. All right, so what I did with this is with the spinach, I started and then I kind of did this, I wanted a very subtle look for the spinach, or for the seaweed. It kind of looks like spinach, whatever. So what I did is I broke the cardinal rule of variegated thread and I folded the length in half so that the different colors were pulled together. Just like you would do a blend with two threads of different colors in like a Teresa Wensler. And then I did, somebody else called it this too, the snake method. So I went across and then I kind of zigzagged back and forth like that to kind of give it that subtle change. There is some things here. I think it's coral, and then there's some fish. I've got to find the color I want for the coral and the fish, because I'd like the seaweed, the coral, and the fish to be the same in all of the pieces, all parts of this. So, and then I got my very first Threadworks dyed, hand over dyed thread. And let's see, what is the number of this one? Because they don't have pretty names, they just have numbers. This is 01150. So the colors that I picked for this were colors that sea dragons, which is a variety of seahorse, in our world actually have. So there is a pink and purple sea dragon. They're more they're solidy, and then they're mostly pink, and then they have solid stripes. But I knew that unless I fussy cut and like used a ton of skeins, that wasn't going to work. So what I did is I picked a starting point. And I went clockwise around and I did the outline. And then I worked my way and just did like smaller concentric circles. I did that for him. And then I did the tail separate. And then there's another sea dragon on the other side, and their tails entwine. And then there's one below. I am in a quandary because what I think I want to do is have them be the same color and just use a different pattern for the other sea dragon, so he has slightly different, so his markings will be different. But I'm a little concerned that where the tails cross down here, they'll blend in too much and it'll be hard to see that they're separate creatures. And then there's a third one down here, and I'm thinking I should maybe get some more of each of the flosses, just because depending on how people do their stitches to get the different effects. So what I'm hoping is that I'm going to send directions on how I did the seaweed. I've got to get a color for the bubbles. I'm probably just going to use stuff I have in stash. So here is the Classic Colorworks Spinach that I'm using for the seaweed. And all the seaweed is done in my section. So, because I think that the plants that are in between, that are here and here in between their tails, are coral, not seaweed. They look more like coral to me. So I want to do that. Then I had a color. These are also colors that real sea dragons are in the ocean. And so I thought then each person could pick. Now, what I also thought is that I could do another one of these where the two sea dragons have different colors, or do the two entwined in the same color and then the bottom one in one of these. So this greenish purple, or not greenish, this green, blue, yellow is 010522. This red orange here is 010348. And this pink, blue, orange is 01011 from Threadworks. So that was my thought. And I wasn't going to tell the ladies how, they can decide what direction they want to stitch in to get the effect that they would like to have for the seahorses or the sea dragons. But they do kind of look like real sea dragons. So I wanted to do that. And so, again, if you have any suggestions, I did talk to people about it in the Stitchy Meetup group, and they said start by the tail and see if they blend in too much. I mean, I could just, I guess, directionalize it so that I'm making sure that the colors don't touch each other where I don't want them to. So, just, you know, start with the end of the thread that isn't going to blend. So I will probably try that and see how I like it. It was all supposed to be one color, so any variation I do is for me, right? All right. 2 new starts, a finish. So, had 48 new starts, 16 finishes. So if I do the math, that means I'm at 32 whips. Yeah, 32 whips, not too bad. All right, now, real whips are currently worked on in the last 2 weeks' whips, I guess I should say. The first I'm going to show you is Camp Crystal Lake by the Witchy Stitcher. There was 2 versions of this, and I asked my husband, there was one with the mask, and then there was this one, and my husband preferred this. I'm still hoping that we get some wooden signs in Michael's that look like signposts to hang this on. If not, I will have to go looking for something at the thrift store or something. I started this on April 5th. It is on 14 count oatmeal Aida. There are 10 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. So back up here. So I made some pretty good progress since you saw this last. I got the sky all filled in. I got around to one corner. I've got some of the blood splatter filled in. And what I am doing with the blood splatter is I am using the 815 étoile, which 815 regular DMC is the called for. And then the 817 doesn't have an étoile equivalent, so I had some blending filament. And I am using that to make that sparkly. It's been a while since I've used blending filament. I've been cheating with étoile, and étoile is a bit, gets a little fuzzy, but it is easy to work with. So what we want to do is with the blood splatter, we want it to be a little sparkly so it looked fresh and wet. And my intention originally was to work on Wisdom by Hade, which is one of my whip goes, and I have one more day to do on it after my videos and the little bit of homework stuff I'm going to do. But I really just want to work on this and make some progress on this. It is a super easy stitch, and the mountains are in since the last time you saw it. I got the sky and the birds in. I've got some of the greenery over here. I've got more of the red. I got the work as established 1935 is in. Yeah. So this is really what I want to work on today. And we also have our Deadlands game. So stuff like this is really easy to stitch while I'm doing Deadlands. Although I may make my Dead Outlaw. Oops, sorry, I got a change where I have this needle in the Elemental Dragon so it doesn't fall out before I can put it back in the bag. Okay. Deadlands, since we're playing Deadlands, which is a Weird West role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but steampunk mixed with supernatural, mixed with Wild West. I keep meaning to pull out my Dead Outlaw because it seems thematically appropriate, but that's what I want to work on today. And I'm about to lose a ton of stitching time between schoolwork and homework, and so I have decided, ice. What are you up to, Mr. Kitty? I have decided that today I'm going to stitch whatever I want, no matter what I should be stitching. All right, next is the Old World Map by Hade. Again, I should have a picture, but I don't. I have one, but I didn't want to pull it out. I'm being lazy today. I started this on March 15th. It's on 25 count Lugana. I am doing it 1/1. This is my first 1/1 on 25 count for full coverage Hade. Sorry, I'm looking to see what the cat's fussing about. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's being noisy today. I am now at 1.14%, and there are 90 colors. So I was working on this, and in this area, I was bringing this stuff down, and I was like, oh crap, I'm off on this. So I had to pick out or frog a bunch of this and move it up or move it down, I can't remember, and then put it all back in. I didn't even count that towards my stitch count. but there's part of a branch, there'll be a cupid. You can kind of start to see a little bit. But it's just the teeny tiniest start. I'm already starting to think about how I'm going to do Whip Go next year. So there was an empty pill bottle on the table over there, and he just knocked it off because he's annoyed that he's not getting his attention that he wants when he wants it. Now he's perched on the edge of the table being a turkey. Let's see, can I do this without making you sick? Oh, my messy corner. See, look at him. He has yet to learn that all he has to do is come over and say hi. Sorry, readjusting. And he will get pets. So, yeah, that's Old World Map. Nice jump, kitty. You gonna come say hi? There goes the tail. All right, next is Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studios. I started this on July 25th. This is a piece that I won in a giveaway from Floss Boss and Cousins. It is on 40 Count Murky. Oops, I accidentally grabbed 2. Newcastle Linen by Picture This Plus. I'm doing it 1/2. And this is the part where I put the notes in the wrong section. So most of this is the called for. I'm going to fold it again so I can get to the part that I'm looking at. I really should get I have boards, I should just use them. All right, so this is her stitching because the die lots did not match for, she had some of this motif in and some of this motif in, but the die lots did not match with the stuff that I had, so I had to frog everything and put it back in. I got the witch's hat complete, which was not complete when I got it. I also had to frog that because of the die lots. But now it's fully finished. And then I started down here on this next motif, which has flowers in it. So my substitutions are in the witch's hat. So the called for green there is Frog Legs by Classic Colorworks. Yeah. And I am using Color and Cotton's Grass instead because I won that, or that came in my Frogworks box last year. And then this here, the buckle on the witch's hat is Classic Colorworks Marmalade, because I had it, instead of Sassy Brass. But the rest is all called for. And instead of bamboo, I'm going to use the Colors and Cottons popcorn that I got in my Frogworks box last year. So that is my progress on Halloween Quaker. And again, I am surprised, like, they look so light and airy, and the number of stitches in this alone is insane. But that's okay. I'm enjoying it. It's all of my projects, I'm enjoying them a lot. All right, what do we have next? Oh, yes. Deadly Aquarium by Lola Crow. This is one of the ones I was using for Kenny Stitch's Abandoned Sal because I keep working on it off and on. Here we go. It is. I started this for my birthday in 2024. We'll pull it back here so you can see what I've got done. I am pathetically behind. I have downloaded the animal index that has all of the information about all the animals because I might end up putting this in my classroom since I'm teaching science. I mean, I'm teaching earth science, no biology now, but this is still science related and it's cool. So, ooh, that does look really nice. I'm going to fold it so I can hold it. So, I got in that seagull. He still needs his beak put in. I worked my way across down here. And this is part 4, the spiny creatures. So I got to start on him. I love those purples. This is 32 Count Sequoia by Atomic Ranch. If you haven't been here before, I've picked this because I thought it kind of looked like a tidal pool. And parts of it will peek out. So I think it will be quite lovely. when it is done. Oh, and this is a little belated, but welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you are returning. My brain, I have so many things in my brain right now with my teacher workshop tomorrow and my college class starting, and I have some stuff to do for my micro credential, and we have another appointment for my husband next week, and you know, just adulting has taken over my brain and distracts it. Now my throat's scratching. All right, so these are her charts are great and super fun. Although I admit this was one of my weekly pulls for fandom this week, and I was not feeling it. Not because I dislike it, and it is fun, and I usually love it. But honestly, what I really wanted to work on was Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake. But I'm trying to make sure I make progress on most everything periodically. I may end up taking some of my little kits that I got from my World of Cross Stitching and taking them to work on like during my lunch or whatever, just to give myself a little mental, especially now since I don't have to walk across the building to go to my lunch. My collab space, my teacher workspace is right next to my classroom now, and I've already been in there and done a little work. I did find a bookshelf, like a plastic bookshelf that was the right height, because I didn't want it to go above my windows in my room, for like $8 at Goodwill, and so that was nice. All right, now that I've squirreled, let's go back to the stitching. All right, next is BFG by Fiona Baker. I am doing this on a cotton bag I got from Michael's. It's at about 32 count. It has 13 colors. I'm doing it 2/2, and I started this on May 11th. So, thank you. This is Fiona, and I know this will drive Stitching with Charlie crazy because of the way the back stitch is, and she doesn't like when bits of the color stick out. However, the reason that Fiona charted it like this is because this is the art style of the person who did the illustrations in the Roald Dahl book BFG. So she was mostly, last time you saw her, she was a blob of just pink and peach and blonde. And then I got a little bit more in his finger there. That's his fingernail. The black stitch here is a combination of 2 strands and 1 strand to get a different effect. So like this part of her hair is 1 strand, her hands are 1 strand, part of her glasses are 1 and part of it's 2. So it really makes a huge difference. And Matilda is on the other side of the bag, and she looks exactly the same because I had a prompt that said stitch something with clothes, and I decided to keep working on Fiona here for the BFG. Mostly I just wanted to see how she would come in with the back stitching. Because Matilda was also wearing clothes, I also could have done Halloween Fairy or Overlook or It Sal or anything. Everything I have with people in it, they have clothes. So unlike certain risque cross stitches that certain Scotsmen are doing, Stuart. So yeah. But she's super cute, and I love a girl in glasses. Wonder why. All right, next is Owl Forest Embroideries, 100 Owls. I started this on May 12th. It is on 32 count water lily linen, and I have like a super itchy foot. For no reason. All right. There are 15 colors, and I'm doing it 2/2. Sorry about that. And I completed this owl, and I realized that because he's kind of white, he kind of blends in a little bit. And I might end up going and adding a little backstitch, but then I don't think there's any backstitch in this piece, and that would look really weird. So this one is a Flores Scops owl. And then I got my second little owl in here, and that is a Mayotte Scops owl. So is this one. And so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 motifs done. But I think it will look really cute when it is finished. I started this one because of Stitchy Aardvark, Kate. It is behind her in all of her floss tubes, and I was like, oh, I have to do that. And if you are looking for it, it is a free pattern on Owl Forest Embroidery's website. Oh, yeah, you can see you can actually see where his wings are now. But so pretty. All right, 2 more whips. That's it. Let me get comfy again. See, now the kitty is just laying down in his normal spot, and he's being good, like he usually is when I film. All right, next is my first ink circles, which is Turtles All the Way Down. This is also for my husband. Well, me too, but he's a huge Discworld fan. Turtles All the Way Down, mythology, everything. And this is why I usually put my hair down, so my hair always slips out of my braids. I started this on May 7th of this year. It is on 32 count Miracle Mint by Silkweaver, and this is my first ever time using Silkweaver fabric, and the holes are nice. It's soft, but not too soft, so it's not like scratchy or anything. 13 count 2 over 2. Last time you saw this, I had this turtle done. I had this shell done and part of this guy. And I only needed to do 200 stitches on this. But I got into it and I decided I needed to finish that turtle before I could be done. So this turtle here is all new. The purple turtle shell is beautiful, and that's the center turtle. But I am still kind of wigged out by a purple shell. But that's okay. It is beautiful. And I still like, it's going to be like a bell pull door hanger kind of thing. And I mean, I know I could probably finish it as something else, but I would like it like that. But I wish I could find a bell pull hanger that had like an aquatic theme. I found a few Halloween ones. There's that heart one, that's that pretty standard metal one. But I really wish there was one with a turtle or something instead, so that it would be more thematically appropriate. Oh, excuse me. If you know a place that makes those, please let me know. I don't know when I'll finish that. All right, final whip. This is, and I did have a picture of this printed out at one time. I think the cat tore it up. He likes to chew on paper sometimes when he's annoyed. This is the Octopus Cell by Unconventional Xstitch. It is free. All you have to do is sign up for their newsletter, and they add a different part, and the link will take you to it's not a Google Drive. It's like, what is it? I used to obsess over this site. Now I can't remember. But it's like one of those online shared drive things. And I cannot remember the name of it. It was meant for you to share files with or links with people. And all of the other earlier releases are there for you if you decide you want to join in. So I started this on August 8th. It's on 32 count. The fabric was originally a sky blue. I took some blue Rit dye, just liquid, and I did the scrunch method, and I added indigo and midnight sky or something like that, and just a little bit to give it more of a watery feel. And I like the sky. You can see the original color kind of peeking through here. I thought that was better than white but I wanted more dynamic things. There are 66 colors, and I'm doing it 2 over 2. So here it is. This is the first page still. It is the tentacle. This was the other thing I was really tempted to work on yesterday. There are a few colors that kind of blend in, but I'm like, that's okay, because octopi try to blend into their surroundings frequently. I did watch the octopus documentary. That was really interesting, and I learned that what is his name? Terry from Third Rock from the Sun. He's obsessed with sea life and like has giant aquariums in his house. So yeah, so very bright colors. I can't wait. So there's this squiggly tentacle on this page. Then if you come over to the right of it, there's one little tiny stitch over here, and then it goes to the next page, which is the start of the octopus's head. And yeah, that is all I've got done so far. I'm just downloading them as I go, or printing them out as I go and putting them in the bag. All right, does all my whips. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that I will not have much stitching done every week because I need to prioritize grading papers and homework and stuff like that before stitching, which makes me sad. I'm going to miss it. That's like my mental health break, and I'm going to have less time to do that. But that's okay. I do have a little bit of haul. I thought my last issue that I got was my last issue of my World of Cross Stitching magazine. And I got an email said, oh, your stuff's late. So I got this one about a week and a half ago, and I thought, oh, that's my last one. It wasn't. I have one more. So this was the kit, and this actually fits in with one of the prompts I have for my countdown to Frogwarts, which is why I pulled out 100 owls. It was a prompt card with a stitch, something with an owl on it. So there's another one that says with the sunflower, and I don't have any sunflower stuff. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there was anything that really grabbed me. I really like the ladybug alphabet in this one. And the bee here. But nothing ginormous. There's a bunch of birthday cards, which is handy. Then yesterday, I got this in the mail, or the day before, earlier this week anyway. Friday, I think. I wasn't expecting this, so this was super happy mail. So here's this adorable little anchor. And then there is a unicorn. I really like this. As we all know, I'm obsessed with nautical theme stuff. And then I have no one to stitch this for, but oh my gosh, the ballerina giraffe is just too dang adorable. So that is all of my haul. Everything else is stuff I already have. I kind of wish I was getting next month's, but budgetary cuts must be made sometimes. I did get an email from Black Needle Society yesterday. My shipment is going out, which means I am the missing items from my Frogwarts box and the prizes that I won. So next time I see you, I should have both of those things. Let's see. Plans. I have one more day of wisdom to work on for Whip Go for August, and then Jessie Marie pulled the numbers a little earlier for Whip Go. Usually she does them on the 25th. She did them yesterday. If you have not seen it, you can go look, or I'm about to tell you what they are anyway. And for September, the Whip Go numbers are 14 and 18. So for me, that I only put 2 actual projects on my Whip Go this year. It's Wisdom Stocking and my Cliffhanger. Both are full coverage. And it has helped me make some progress. The Cliffhanger is beautiful, but it's a lot of blobs of confetti, and it just looks like a blob of red. I'm hoping that once I get the edges of the book in, it'll be a little bit more interesting to stitch on. I love the finished piece, but right now I'm just in a slog of it looks like a blob. And then Wisdom, it's a beautiful piece too, but it's just, it has a hard time holding my attention. So, I will try to get those in, and I know because of my work schedule and everything, that's why I went with 2 days. So as long as I pull it out on 2 days of the month, even if it's only 200 stitches, that's some progress. And then I'm not trying to stress myself out if I have a lot of grading to do or extra shifts at Michael's or whatever, that I didn't get my 600 stitches. If I just say 2 days, then if I pull it out for 2 days and I work on it, even if I don't work on it the whole day, I've still met my goal. I'm already looking at my Whip Go board for next year. In fact, I'm not printing it yet because I'm hoping maybe that a few of the things on there I might finish before the end of the year. But I've already kind of started. I've already filled in next year's Whip Go board. even if I'm still taking classes in January, if I'm taking another round of classes for my licensure, then, you know, at least I'll, you know, have another flexible goals for that too. All right. So other news. Let me take another drink because my mouth is dry. And yes, I know I should drink water when I'm filming, not soda, but it's been. I'm both thrilled and sad about this next piece of plans. Since I have seen you last time, I've gotten 3 orders for the Shawshank sampler. I have been paid for all 3 of them. So, I thought I had some more fabric, but I just have like a bunch. It's really long, but it's only about this wide. And because it's a sampler, I can't do the trick with like full coverage where you would just add fabric and hide it in the stitches. So I had to order some more fabric, which is supposed to be here on Monday as well. So tomorrow. It was Rita Fiend. Let me see. Luckily I have my computer up. I'm going to look here. Rita Renee's Crossstitch Fabrics on Facebook. She sells through Facebook. That is who I ordered it from. It's actually much cheaper than when I ordered it from Stitchville. So I have like 4 yards of 11 count ivory Aida coming. And part of what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night after I get done with my professional development is, who was it that did it? Can't remember who did it, but they did paper of the different projects they wanted to do on a piece of fabric, and they did the measurements, and then they laid out the paper versions so they could arrange it to get the most use out of their fabric. So I think I'm going to do that with my new piece of Aida. I'm going to lay it out and then have mock-ups. I mean, it's a really big design, just so when I cut it, I get the most use out of the fabric so I don't have as much waste fabric. So I have to do 3 of those, and if I work on nothing else, they take about a week and a half. And I'm going to have to work on nothing else now that I'm back to work full time. So my goal is to start the first one probably, hopefully Monday night, because Tuesday night I have open house and I will be gone at work from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night. I will probably do some stitching on it when I get back because I'll need to unwind after 3.5 hours of parents. But last year at open house, because I'm teaching freshmen and I'm only teaching freshmen this year, I actually had a line out the door past 7:30 because all the parents that are new to high school are worried about their babies, and so I had extra time after the time we're supposed to be done. So then I'm gonna but after I do my one sampler, I'm gonna take a day off, do a fun project, and then do the next sampler, take a day off, do a fun project. I do plan on attending the Rise of the Retreat, which is hosted by the Crossstitch Society, which is run by Shan Carroll, also known as Stitching Goddess. Oh no, not Stitching Goddess, Stitching Sorceress. Stitching Goddess Designs does the t-shirts. And what I did is that after I got all the orders for the Shawshank sampler, I went and found as many of the prompts for the challenges during that retreat that will fit the Shawshank sampler as possible to help motivate me to stitch it, because I'm going to have to stitch it 3 times in a row. But anyway, let's see what else. I'm also going to be working on my round robin. We gave ourselves 3 months, so August, September, October. So mid-October, which is MEA weekend, perfect timing. I will hopefully have that ready to go and shipped out. I'm hoping I can finish my Shawshank samplers before September is over. I don't think that's possible, but I'm going to try. Ugh. And then I'm both hoping for another one and not wanting another one for a while, but the money is nice. So, in fact, that money is going to go help pay some medical stuff. All right, so shout outs. My usual Flosstube shout outs, you know, Akio Whip, Morty, Mad Morty and the Brom, Animal Instinct, DNA Geekcrafts, which she's about to go on an adventure, so you should totally go catch up with her. Because she's about to be an international Flosstuber as well as an American one. So go check out what's going on with her. It's amazing. But I have 2 new Flosstubers for you. Both of them are part of the Stitching Connection that Jason Xstitches is hosting and organized and is doing Zooms for. And it looks like we might be getting a Discord channel too. So that'll be fun. And both of these people were enabled to start one because of the Stitching Connection. So we have Jessica, who has her channel is called Hero Born Stitches. She only has 5 videos out. She has under 200 subscribers. She likes to do samplering stuff for the most part, though a lot of those are Halloween themed. Specialty stitches, she's got a Hardanger on the go. She's doing Extraordinary Birds. She's got a new Fancy Lady that she started. She's got a couple of paid. She's just entering the world of full coverage, so go give her some encouragement. I think she's still looking for some tips as well. Then my second brand new Flosstuber for you literally posted his first video yesterday. He's got about 11 subscribers when I looked this morning to double check his channel name. It is Starflight Creations. There is another Starflight Creations too, but it is not cross-stitch related. Matt. He is another part of the Stitching Connection. He's been stitching, he said, since he's 5 years old. Which, I'm not going to say it's longer than me, but he started at a younger age than I did. He's a few years younger than me. I think he might have been stitching, less time than me. I don't know how old he is. But he likes to stitch on like Harry Potter, Dragons, Animal Crossing. He's doing the Lord of the Rings stitch along from Cunning Crossstitch from last year. So go check him out. Give him some love. He's still very nervous, as we all are, on our first video. And other news, Bohemian Stitchery's back. Nancy's back. She posted like yesterday or the day before. She has not posted in a while. And she hinted that maybe Carla could be coming back to Flosstube as well. So they are 2 of my early Flosstubers that I got into Flosstube with. They inspired me to do the 50 for 50. And yeah, it's amazing. So that is all my shout outs. If you are only here for the stitching and the shout outs, then have a great week. I have a couple of things I want to talk about books and movie wise. Mostly TV show and movie. I meant to look at what books I'd read recently. Most of it was just fun, like silly stuff. And, that's what I was going to do. This is the part I forgot to do. I've read 37 books so far this year. That I did want to mention. Okay. I almost forgot. This is a good thing I worked at. And I didn't mention this last time. Okay. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't mention either of these books last time. Okay. I did mention one of them, but that's okay. I'm not getting as many audiobooks read because when I'm at home, I'm watching Flosstube. In fact, I got to figure out a routine so I can keep watching Flosstube. All right. So what I've been watching, Golden Girls. I got a wild hair to rewatch Golden Girls, and it holds up so well. It is making me laugh out loud, and I've been inspired. I think I need to do a series of patterns of Golden Girls shade. Might be the first thing I release on my Ko-Fi store with my new Whim stitch. They had some good shade, man, and they are funny. So then we actually went to the movies last week. We were going to go see Fantastic Four. But then Weapons was in theaters. And if you like horror movies, I highly recommend. This was really good. It is by the director of Barbarian, Zach Cregger, Cregger. It is a really great little horror movie. It has Amy Madigan, Josh Brolin, Benedict Wong, Julia Garner. The little main boy is named Carrie Christopher. He was actually really good. He made some really good choices with like his facial expressions and everything. It is the story of a town where 17 kids go missing in one night. It's all the kids from the same class except for one little boy. And there is footage of people's door cams, the little security doorbell cams that people have. And all of the kids left the house at 2:14 a.m. And they have video of them running out with their arms like behind them like they're pretending to fly. And it's the story of what happens to the town, how people react. It shifts perspective from like four people. Julia Garner's the main character. She's the teacher of all the kids. I can't remember her character name. Josh Brolin is the dad of one of the kids that goes missing. Benedict Wong is the principal of the school. Excellent performances, really gripping. It's not like, there's a few gory parts, but it's more creepy than I would say like jump scary. It's more emotionally tense and horrifying. There are a few gory parts, but the horror is not based on the gore. All right, let me take a drink and then I'm going to talk about my book here. So, I finished up Bookshops and Bone Dust. I don't think I'd finished it last time, but it was fun. Apparently it is a prequel to a whole series. So if you want a light read, I recommend that one. It is set in a fantasy world, but it's kind of almost feels like a cozy mystery, but that's not quite right. It's not really a mystery. But it has that kind of feeling. And then the other book that I listened to was less light. It was nonfiction. It was Marcia, The Joy and Defiance of Marcia P. Johnson by Tourmaline. It is a biography of Marcia P. Johnson, a trans woman who was one of the people responsible for the Stonewall riots. It is about her life. There's interviews with, like, the writer interviewed her family that were, I got like a loose eyelash. So there's family interviews. She interviewed people that were friends. They talk about the kind of care work that Marcia gave to her friends with AIDS. They talk about the circumstances of her death, which the cops just tried to say was suicide. I don't think it was suicide. I don't know if Marcia was on something and fell, or if somebody pushed her off the bridge. We do know she had an interaction with some people who were harassing her earlier in the day. So it's a good chance that they attacked her when they were able to get her alone. But we don't know. So it does not make her look like a perfect person, which I really appreciate. I think even our heroes are people. They are not perfect. They are human beings. They have good things and bad things about them. And sometimes the things about you that some people consider bad are what make you do the good things that you do. They talk about her mental health struggles. They talk about her substance abuse. They paint her as a person, not as this ideal, perfect being that we should all aspire to be. It was an honest portrayal of her. Her problems do not diminish the good things she did. And I learned a lot of things about the Stonewall Riots that I did not know. So I highly recommend, if you want to learn more about that, to check that book out. From your library, buy it, whatever. That's all I've got for you today. I was not expecting this to go just over an hour, but it did. I hope you've all had a great week. I plan to be back in 2 weeks. I'm trying to do this on the weekends that I don't work, because right now I'm only working at Michael's every other weekend, which sucks for the money, but is good for the fact that I'm about to start having to study, and I am hoping to maybe get a little work done on a first assignment. Maybe if there's a simple assignment I can get done and out of the way before class even officially starts, that would be great. And then I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my summer, which is until I go to bed tonight in about 12 hours. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I'm on Stitchmunity, which is a social media for cross-stitchers created by cross-stitchers. I'm on Goodreads. I'm on Storygraph. Catch me there. I'm on Discord if you want to add me there. Let me know what you're working on, if you have any great book recommendations. And I will see you in 2 weeks. So long, and thanks for all the stitch. Bye.